On today's video, we're going to look at the top 10 baddest chicks locked up in the state of Florida right now. I just got an email from Joe. He says, "Hey Jose, I'm about to retire in a few weeks. I need a Florida baddie. Don't even worry about high bails or lengthy sentences. I might be able to make those charges be dismissed. No run-of-the-mill chicks. I need a bad one. Peace out, playa. Nothing over 160. Alright, Joe, so we're going to start our search in the Charlotte County arrest logs. Now, without a doubt, this is the most dating-friendly arrest log in the state of Florida. Bill Palmer has made sure that they include if they're single, married, or divorced, the weight, the nationality, even their address, so you can look these women up once they get released. So if you're looking to meet women using the Florida's arrest logs, you're not going to find a better dating site than the Charlotte County arrest logs. That's guaranteed. I mean, short of their monthly menstruation cycle, that's about the only thing you're not going to find on this website. So it's very detailed. Number one is Danielle. Now, she meets all your requirements. Take a look at her. She's a white woman, which is, I'm pretty sure what you're looking for. But Danielle is a smart one because she withheld her address. Yeah, she's not dealing with the stalkers. She meets all your requirements. She's white, she's young, she's under 160, she's listed as single, she's a U.S. citizen, and she was smart enough to omit her address to make sure stalkers don't find her online. This is a smart one right here. Now, she has some possession charges, but I really think this one is a salvageable vehicle. Now, Joe, I know you mentioned you wanted a really bad chick, and perhaps this isn't the baddest chick in Florida, but this one's got a lot of potential. She's young, she's smart, and her charges are something we can work with. And don't get me wrong, Joe, I'm going to bring you some bad chicks on today's top 10 list, but I'm going to throw this one in there just in case you decide you want something more serious. Look, the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office doesn't just give you a lot of information on these females, but they also handpick the women they're going to arrest. So these aren't some run-of-the-mill trashy girls full of bed bugs and ticks. These girls come from good families and they've done the best they can to ensure you're not just getting some random reject. Number two, now this one is dangerous, Joe. This chick is bad, okay? Now this chick right here, meet Andrea Sanchez. She's from Polk County, Florida, aka Valentina. Now this chick has an onslaught of criminal charges from possession to fake ID. This girl is bad to the bone. Take this at face value. We've heard the phrase, a picture says 1,000 words. And before you even saw her criminal charges, all you had to see is a picture of this girl to know she's bad. Joe, if you want a bad chick in Florida, it don't get more dangerous than this. Number three is an armed Native American female from Collier County, Florida. She's 18 years old and she has already committed a robbery with a firearm. Joe, if you're gonna have a career, you gotta start at a young age. This female understood at 18 years old that she wanted to start her criminal career off with a big bang. Now, most females start their criminal careers with driver's license or simple possession charges. This girl at 18 years old did a armed freaking robbery. That's like getting a face tattoo at that age. She only has one criminal charge, but it's making a bold statement. Number four, meet Tara from Charlotte County, Florida. This chick has a lot of potential. She's not over 160 pounds. She's white. She even started college. She was born in the United States. This chick right here has a lot of potential, man, and she's got some possession charges. Look, the facts are clear. She started college, but she's unemployed right now. This is the type of chick who has a lot of potential. She just hasn't had a man to give her a good slap around and snap fingers at her and get her getting her crap together. You know what I mean? This is the type of chick that really just needs to be motivated. I know we found her in the recycle bin, but she ended up there by mistake. Joe, I know guys in your age group sometimes wish they can save a woman from the imminent destruction of herself, and this type of woman will give you that desire, that feeling that perhaps you could save her from doing more trashery, and that keeps a lot of old guys like you motivated. So perhaps just the notion that you could think you could save this woman somehow from herself could be the motivation to keep you just committed to the relationship despite the obvious facts that the girl really is a lot of trouble. They certainly don't waste taxpayer dollars in Charlotte County, Florida. When they put a woman in the recycle bin and put a bail on her, they know that this woman has the ability to be something better with herself, and I have to commend them for that. We see other sheriff's offices out there where they simply let women like this slide through the cracks. It's not the case in Charlotte County, Florida. You're certainly not going to find this quality of white woman in Polk County or Pasco County, Florida. Number 5, meet Lorraine from Palm Beach County. She was arrested in Palm Springs, Florida, and I know what you're thinking, Jose, this is definitely needs to remain in the recycle bin. But look, Joe, if you want a bad chick, you gotta take risk. When it comes to trifling hood rat baby mamas, Palm Beach County is the place to find them, and Palm Springs is the motherlode. And if you're thinking about bailing this one out, don't waste your time. This is the type of chick that always has 3 or 4 dudes dying to get back with her, knowing how toxic she is. Number 6, meet Leah Rivers. Now this is a specimen for you, Joe. This right here is as bad as they get. Up in the Florida Panhandle, Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office doesn't even know what to do with this chick. She's got all the traits of a bad girl. Her first charge, failure to obey. She just won't listen. Now, failure to obey isn't exactly the worst crime you could be charged with, but it is an absolute endemic trait of a bad woman. If you want to have a little bit of insubordination in your life, this chick right here is it. Obstruction, smuggling, failure. How many times is this woman going to be charged with failure? She doesn't have one bad charge. She just has a bunch of small charges that lets you know how petty and how belligerent and how insubordinate she is. This is the type of girl that will pester your life on a small scale, passive aggressively, indefinitely. It isn't one single hit. It's the constant daily nagging that slowly eats away at your soul. Most white women her age are out there riding a bicycle. This is the type of chick to stay home to look through your bank records to see if you've been doing something suspicious. This is the type of chick to set you up with her best friend to test you out, knowing you're gonna fail. If you want drama, insecurities, and strife in your life, this woman will fill every moment of your life with absolute dread that will keep you entertained indefinitely. If you want a toxic relationship that will keep you entangled, attached, on the edge of your seat, wondering what will happen next, this is the type of woman that will have you bailing her out time and time again. And Joe, at your age, the years will pass and you won't even have a second to think about where your life went because you'll be so preoccupied with this relationship. I'm telling you, it's what you need in your life right now. The guilt trips from this woman will start the moment the car door slams when you pick her up from the county jail. And despite the fact she's been locked up for a long time, when you take her out to dinner for the first time, she's going to be complacent about the place you picked her. This is toxicity refined. Now, before we move forward, I want to let you know that we looked through thousands of arrest records and there were a lot of great candidates for today's list, but we picked the absolute most hood rat people we could find to actually end up on our list. We had to pass up on people like this girl here. She's a violent dating offender. I have no idea what that means, but if you date her, you're getting hurt. In fact, the overwhelming majority of women we found that were locked up would do just that, like this female who just likes to hit people. And you know, there's more to a toxic relationship than just domestic violence, and it gets old after a while. You want somebody that will be really toxic. So let's keep moving with our list. Number 7, meet Casey. Now this chick is completely salvageable and repentant. You can see her crying on the photo. Now there's a lot of great things about her. She's young, she's white, she's got a bachelor's degree, she's single, and she's got a house with a pool. And her charges are typical for white women. There's no need to explain that part of it. Here's a woman with a lot of potential. She's done a lot of great things in her life, and now she's getting arrested. This is the type of woman that if you put her in the wrong environment, could definitely spiral out of control. She's got street smarts and book smarts, so you don't have to go on a robbery spree with her. This is the type of girl you can get down with some embezzlement, some fraud. I mean, this is a very educated but malignant woman. This is the type of woman you could actually go on big financial crimes with. And at this stage in your life, that's possibly something you'd want to do right now. You know, one of the biggest mistakes that guys make when they're looking for a bad toxic girl is assuming that she has to be a complete failure. A woman with a bachelor's degree has as much potential to be a menace to society as a woman who got kicked out in the 9th grade. I mean, think about it. She got as far as a bachelor's degree in a house with a pool, but she's still willing to throw it all the way for the streets. There's a lot of girls who got pregnant at 17 and are currently in a rehab center, and if they saw this police report, they would be completely disgusted and appalled at this chick. for being at this place in her life and messing it all up to chase the streets when she's got a nice home with a pool and a bachelor's degree. So look at it from that perspective. When dealing with these white women here in Florida, you don't look at how trashy they are right now, but how much they've thrown away to get to that point, Joe. Number 8, meet Raquel from Immokalee, Florida. Now, this young lady's crime is the same crime over and over again. This young lady here in Collier County, Florida, insists on driving without a driver's license. And this is bad refined. It's when you have a woman who never learns her lesson and just makes the same mistake over and over again. That's a bad girl right there. Sure, her crime, driving without a driver's license, may not be that serious of a crime, but the fact that she is repetitively getting arrested time and time again for the same exact thing means that this is that person that no matter how much you punish her, will never learn her lesson. Joe, you have the opportunity to be as frustrated at this woman as the judge who has to see her time and time again for the same exact problem. Completely hopeless, completely hard-headed. Stubbornness is an absolute must-have for a toxic relationship. And Joe, this is also the type of woman that no matter how bad you treat her, if she likes you, she'll love you indefinitely. This is the type of chick that has the potential to become a stalker if you let her go, because once she sets her mind on something, then there's no changing her mind. Number 9, meet Melody from Palm Beach County, Florida. Look at the crocodile tears, okay? Now, she's arrested for battery. It's a simple charge, but you know what? It isn't the fact that she's arrested for battery. It's the fact that she's crying about it. Like, she knew it was wrong, she did it, and now she's crying about it. This is a staple of a toxic woman. This, if you want a bad woman in your life, this right here is what you're looking for. You want a woman that will do something that she knows is wrong, cry about it, but that didn't stop her from doing it. Number 9 is Lisa, the Naples threat. She's currently in custody in Collier County, Florida, and this chick is bad to the bone. Her criminal record is so extensive, it's like she's purposely going after every single statute she can break. This is the type of chick that has done everything from hitting cops, hitting you, hitting elderly people. If it's a crime, she's done it. Her rap sheet in Collier County is so long, they had to buy a extended ink package for the freaking machine when she asked them to print out her record. This is the type of chick that will break every single law you could think of. You better have deep pockets for this one, because you're going to have to be bailing her out consistently. If there's a law in Naples, Florida, she's broken it. She's had warrants out of Broward County. If you want a bad girl constantly in trouble, you're going to have a side chick for this one, because she's going to spend more time locked up than on the streets. Number 10, meet Marday. Now, she's 18 years old and she's locked up on some insignificant crime. We're not even going to read what it is. She's just locked up. She's 18 years old. But this is the type of girl that you could ruin her life. Now, most of the women we've gone over today, they're going to ruin your life. But here's a chance for you to be able to play that toxic, malignant role in the relationship. She's 18 years old and she's been locked up over some stupid crap. It's not even worth mentioning it. So instead of her ruining your life like most women do, here's a chance for you to be the villain, for you to contaminate her, for you to put her in bad situations, for you to plant evidence on her, for you to absolutely ruin her life. This is the type of female that if you put her in the wrong environment, she will thrive. Now, most of the time when a guy's looking for a woman that's bad, he looks at the bad things she's already done. But you know, why not wonder, what could I get her to do? Tax evasion, perhaps fraud. How can you be the one to orchestrate her failures? And that's an interesting way to look at it. You know, a lot of guys, they want a bad girl. They're looking for a girl that's already having a reputation, a criminal record. You want proof and evidence of what's in the pudding, but not always like that. Sometimes you have to see yourself turning that woman into a complete piece of crap. It isn't just about finding a woman that's bad. It's about you being the man in the relationship and deciding for her that the rest of her life is ruined because you picked her out for that purpose. And that's very important. A lot of times guys, when they look for a bad girl, they never really find her because they're looking for a woman that's already bad, and they don't realize that there's some woman that can be turned bad. Alright, that's today's video, and remember that the girl at the start of the video that we use as an example for how great this dating site is on the service herself, and she herself has a very extensive criminal record. You know, I have to say that Charlotte County, Florida isn't like the best place to find a bad girl in Florida, but the website makes finding these women so easy, and you get so much information about them that it really makes it a great place to start your search. We were able to get so much information about these women, for their address to their marital status. I mean, you don't want to bail a girl out and then find out she's married. Alright everybody, so those are the top 10 baddest girls that you can find right now locked up in the state of Florida. And keep in mind that today's video is a parody. Obviously, this is not a real situation. We're just trying to show you guys 10 arrest records from Florida of 10 interesting people. If you're one of those 10 people listed on today's video, we're not laughing at you, we're laughing with you, hopefully. Being arrested is possibly one of the lowest points in a person's life, and we don't want to kick somebody while they're down, but there is some comedy to be found in people's mistakes, and we can all learn from it. And remember, these people are just being charged with this crime. Of course, we know with the United States, these individuals are innocent until proven guilty, but many times it feels like people are found guilty the moment their mugshots show up on front pages. And of course, nobody really wants to be on the news for one of their lowest moments in their life being broadcasted. So I definitely can relate to that feeling. Who would want all their information on the internet? Personally, I think we should know if an individual has a certain type of crime, where their address is. But should a woman getting arrested for a DUI have her address posted on the internet? That's definitely questionable. Other types of crimes, I do believe that the community needs to know. Some sheriff's offices in Florida are altogether getting rid of arrest record reports. In these counties, there's individuals whose crimes the community does need to know that they happened. So we know that Florida is in the situation now where many of these sheriff's offices have stopped reporting arrest records, and that is a public safety concern for a lot of us. So while too much information can definitely be used in the wrong fashion, some individuals, based on the type of crime they have, definitely need to have their information put on the internet for public safety. Other individuals, it's kind of like, why do we need to know the address of a woman who did a DUI? That seems like something that possibly needs to be withheld. I believe that these, the way counties report arrests, it needs to be done better. I think Charlotte County does a great job in putting out a lot of information out there, but do we really need to know if a girl is single? Do we really need to know her address just because she had a DUI? It seems like too much information. While some agencies don't offer any information, some agencies possibly offer too much, and perhaps that's the biggest lesson we can learn from today's video, is that some of these counties don't offer any information at all, while others offer way too much. In the case of the Charlotte County website, you could probably use that thing as a dating website at this point with as much information as they're handing out. I mean, unless you're looking at dating these people, I don't understand why you would need that much information on a simple DUI. Now, in the abundance of information, there is something very important that Charlotte County does, is that they list the nationality of the person. Where are you born? Because if people are coming here from somewhere else to break the law and do things that they're not supposed to, shouldn't the rest of us be able to know the countries that are making that list most abundantly? That's a great thing to include. So in the abundance of information is also things that they do that not too many other agencies do that I do think are beneficial, like nationality. Why shouldn't we know if somebody's a U.S. citizen if they're breaking the law? I think that's very important for them to include. So in the abundance of information, there's good things, but in the abundance of information is also some question marks. Where do you draw the line? I think public safety needs to be the #1 concern, and entertainment value comes along if you include too much information. And remember that the most effective method to ensure that your mugshot never ends up on the internet is simply to follow the laws.